life, and today we're going to go over one of the most important equations out there called the percent equation. The percent equation is percent times base equals the part. So I'll write those out again. P stands for percent. Anytime you're given a percent in a real life problem or scenario, that gets plugged in right here for P. B stands for the base. And A stands for the part. Now, anytime you're doing math with percentages, you never actually multiply 60% times 20 bucks. You have to change the percent to a decimal before you can do any math with a percentage. So that's an important thing I'm going to note here. All percents must be converted to decimals. Okay, so anytime you're going to plug a percentage into this equation, you have to make it a decimal first. Okay, the base, let's explain what that is a little bit more. The base is usually your whole amount. Could also call it the total. Okay, the part obviously is just the part of the total. So we're going to be looking at a bunch of different real life scenarios and identifying in this scenario what number is the percent, what number is the base, and what number is the part. And it's really important to me that you guys can pick out which number represents which in a real life scenario. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at some real life scenarios here. Here's one that you might see in a store. 20% off. The regular price of $32 is $6.40 off. Which one of these numbers is the percent? Whichever number has a percent sign by it, that is what you plug in for P. That one's always the easiest to pick out. Now, which one of these numbers is the base or the total, and which is the part or just part of the total? Well, the total cost of this item was $32 originally. This here is my B, my base. Part of the cost is being taken off. So $6.40 would be the part. Now, if you plug this information into the percent equation, percent times base equals part. My percent is 20%. However, before I plug it in, remember, I need to change this into a decimal. 20% as a decimal is 0.20. So plugging 0.20 in for P, $32 in for base, and $6.40 in for part. Now, according to the percent equation, if we take 0.2 times 32, we should get 640. So let's check that really quick. 0.2 times 32, does that equal 640? Yes. All right, let's look at another real life scenario here. Your class raised 80% of its goal of $8,000 for a trip to Washington, D.C. Your class has now raised $6,400. Okay, we got to pick out which one of these numbers is the percent, which is the base, and which is the part. The percent is always the easiest one to pick out. It has a percent sign next to it. So 80% is the P. Now we got to decide which one of these numbers is the base, the total, the whole amount. Well, the total amount your class wants to raise for this trip is $8,000. Part of the goal has been raised. That part is $6,400. So in this case, $8,000 is your base, and $6,400 would be the part. So if we plug all of this in, percent times the base equals the part. 80% as a decimal is 0.8. So I'll plug in 0.8 for P. My base is $8,000. And my part is $6,400. Now, according to the percent equation, if we multiply 0.8 times 8,000, we should get 6,400, which we do. 80% of $8,000 is $6,400. All right, the last example here. In a class of 25 students, 16 are wearing sandals. 64% of the students are wearing sandals. Okay, you guys work on deciding which number represents the percent, which represents the base, and which represents the part. All right, you should have gotten the number with the percent sign by it, obviously represents P, the percent. The total, or the whole class, is 25. This would be the B, the base. Part of the class is wearing sandals. 16 is the part. So plugging in this information into the percent equation, percent times base equals part, I'm going to plug in 64% as a decimal for P, 0.64. My base is 25 students, and my part is 16. All right, next we're going to move on to some examples that are written more in a math type of language rather than a real life scenario type of language. I just want to remind you of two things here. Oftentimes in math, the word of means multiply, and the word is means equal. Keep that in mind because that's going to help you quickly work through these next problems. Of means multiply, is means equals. Okay, now we're trying to find, in these cases, we're going to be either solving for the missing percent, the missing base, or the missing part. So the first problem says, what percent of 40 is 16? So let's first think about what information did they give us. Neither of these numbers have a percent sign next to them, which must mean the percent is not given. What percent means find the missing percent. It's not given. 40 looks like the total amount, and 16 is just part of the total. So according to the formula, this being my base and this being my part, percent times base equals part. Okay. Now what I want you to notice here is that what percent means P is unknown and we can leave it a variable. Here's the word of. Of often means multiply. Then we have the number 40, followed by the word is. Is often means equals in math. So literally everything just got translated directly into math language. To solve this problem, we're going to need to find percent. That's the missing variable. Okay, here's a second example. What number is 76% of 25? Okay, so if you had a class of 25 and 76% of people got an A on the test, how many people got an A on the test? Which variable are we missing? Clearly, we know the percent. 76 has a percent sign by it, so we know P. Now we got to decide, is 25 the base or is it the part? Is 25 the total, the whole amount, or is it just part of the total? This all comes in reading the question carefully. What number is 76% of 25? If there's 25 students total and only 76% of the students got an A on the test, that means 25 is your total, it's your base, and a certain percentage of students got an A. If we're going to translate this problem directly into math language, what number, this is an unknown that we can fill in with a variable, is means equals, 76 is my percent, which I have to write as a decimal when I plug it in, of, often means multiply in math, 25. Percent times the base equals the part. In this scenario, the part is unknown. We can find that by multiplying these two. In the last scenario, the percent was unknown. Okay, let's look at another one. $42 is 30% of what number? Okay, in this problem, obviously we're given a percent. 30 must be P. Now the 42, we have to decide, is 42 the base or is it the part? 42 is 30% of what number? Okay, well, if we're just translating directly into math language, I write the number 42 down first. Is means equals. 30% I have to write as a decimal, 0.30. Of means times. What number should be an unknown variable? It looks like I have the part equals the percent times the base. My base must be my unknown variable. 42 must be the part. All right, last example here. What number is 14% of 350? Oops, typo there. Of 350. Okay, so again, clearly I'm given the percent in this case because there's a percent sign by the 14. And now I have to decide, wait, is 350 my base or my part? 14% of 350 means I'm going to take a part of the 350 total. So in this case, 350 is my base. If you're unsure if it's the part of the base, start translating this directly into math language. Drag the 350 straight down. Of means multiply. 14%, I have to write that as a decimal, 0.14. Is means equals. Okay, I know that the formula says percent times base equals part. What number is the unknown? The unknown must be the part.